My name is Nikola Tesla. I'm often remembered as the strange, brilliant inventor who dreamed of lighting the world without wires. Some call me the father of modern electricity. Others say Thomas Edison won the fame, but I, perhaps, carried the vision. Tonight, I will tell you the story of my life. It begins, as all things do, in darkness and lightning. The year is 1856 in the quiet village of Smiljan, nestled in what is now Croatia. My mother labors through a fierce thunderstorm. The sky cracks with light. The midwife gasps. "He'll be a child of darkness," she whispers. "No," my mother replies, her voice calm, sure. "He will be a child of light." And she was right. If you were born in a thunderstorm like that, what kind of person do you think you'd become? So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. If you could send a message to me in the past, what would you write? Leave a comment below. Now, listen to this interesting story about my life journey. The world I come into is hard and quiet. Candles for light, oxen for pulling carts, letters that take weeks to arrive. My family is not wealthy, but we are rich in thought. My father is a stern priest, a writer with a voice that can fill a church. But my mother, my mother. She is the spark. She creates tools with her bare hands, memory like a trap, solving puzzles without writing them down. I think if she had been born in a different time, you might know her name instead of mine. As a child, I see things others do not. I don't mean imagination. I mean actual flashes of light. I hear tones no one else hears. Words trigger visions, like waking dreams. My family thinks I'm ill. Maybe I am, or maybe I've always just received the world differently. At 3, I tame a wild horse no one can approach. At 5, I build a water wheel from scraps of wood. By 9, I'm reading entire libraries, obsessed with numbers, geometry, and poems. I lie awake for hours, rearranging cities in my mind, planning machines I don't yet know how to build. If you were me, constantly overwhelmed by thoughts and visions, would you be frightened? Or would you follow the images wherever they led? Still, I'm not invincible. One day I nearly drown in a river. Another, I leap from the roof with an umbrella, convinced I can fly. I survive, but not without bruises. I'm hungry to understand the laws of the world, but I don't yet know that they don't always bend to desire. At school, I shine. Teachers are impressed, but I'm also odd. I can calculate entire pages of math in my head. I speak 4 languages by 16, but I avoid touching other people. I wear white gloves. I can't bear the sight of earrings or the feel of peach skin. Strange, right? But that's me. That's always been me. My brother Dane is the golden child, brilliant, musical, loved by all. One day, while riding our family's horse, he falls and dies. He's only 12, and something breaks in me. My father retreats into grief. I'm left with silence, but also more fire, as though my brother's light has passed into me. I begin to chase every science I can find. I want to build something worthy of his memory. I want to honor the sparks in my head that never let me sleep. I go to study engineering in Austria. It's a different world, structured, advanced, full of machines. I study 12, sometimes 16 hours a day. Electricity calls to me. This invisible force that pulses through wires and shocks life into metal. I begin to dream of rotating magnetic fields, of motors that run without coal or fire. One night, while walking through a park, I draw the entire mechanism of what will become my greatest invention, the alternating current motor, in the dirt, with a stick under the moon. If you were me, 24, obsessed, exhausted, but certain that the idea in your mind could power the world, what would you do? Would you risk everything to make it real? When my father dies, I'm crushed. But he leaves me one final gift. He lets go of his dream that I become a priest. He whispers that I should go study what I love. Go, he says, make your mark. And I do. I travel across Europe, from Prague to Budapest, always chasing work, always tinkering. I meet a professor who encourages my ideas, and yet the world is slow to change. My inventions are misunderstood. I feel the edges of poverty biting at my heels, but I hold on to the spark. I always do. And then one day, an opportunity comes. A letter, a ticket. America, the land of Edison, the land of possibility. I pack a single suitcase and a handful of notes for inventions I've only imagined. No money, no connections, just belief. If you had only your ideas to carry you across an ocean, would you take that leap? I arrive in New York City in 1884. The streets are chaos. Carriages jostle against early motor cars. Men shout across smoky rooftops. The skyline cuts the clouds like a saw blade of ambition. It smells of sweat, coal, and invention. I step off the ship with 4 cents in my pocket, a rolled-up drawing of a flying machine and a heart full of trembling hope. The city doesn't wait for anyone. It chews people up, then asks for dessert. But I have something it wants. Ideas. The kind that spark behind the eyes and make people whisper, this one might be different. I find my way, barely, to the offices of Thomas Edison. He's already a legend. The wizard of Menlo Park. The man who made the light bulb a household miracle. His factory is a fortress of buzzing machines and glowing filaments. I look around and think, this is where it all happens. This is the future. I'm introduced to him, disheveled, quick, always in motion. He sizes me up like a machine part. They say you understand dynamos, he mutters. Can you fix mine? I nod. Not only fix, it can be improved. He scoffs. You show me that and I'll give you $50,000. So I do. I work without rest. Days blur into nights. I redesign, rewire, recalibrate every dynamo in his lab. They run cooler, faster, cleaner. The staff is amazed. Edison is quiet. Later, I ask him about the payment. He laughs. Tesla, you don't understand our American humor. The joke stings. If you were me, young, broke, humiliated, would you stay or walk away? I leave. I sweep streets, I dig ditches, I design arc lighting systems by candlelight. I survive on bitter coffee and dreams. But every night, I sketch blueprints for machines that no one's imagined yet. It's then I return to a vision I once scrawled in the dirt beneath a European moon. A motor powered by alternating current. Not the direct current Edison swears by, but something far more efficient, elegant, powerful. Alternating current, or AC, flows back and forth, like the tide, like breath. It can travel longer distances with less loss. It's the future, if only someone will listen. I build a small prototype. It hums with promise. My landlord is horrified when it shocks his cat. But me? I feel the wind shifting. One day, a man named Alfred Brown notices my work. He introduces me to George Westinghouse, Edison's rival, a railroad magnate with a sharp mind and deeper pockets. Westinghouse listens, really listens. "I believe in you," he says. 4 words, but they ignite everything. He buys my patents, hires me. Together, we prepare for what becomes known as the War of the Currents, AC versus DC, me versus Edison. Posters appear calling AC dangerous. Newspapers whisper that my inventions will kill children. Edison stages public electrocutions, dogs, horses, even an elephant, all in a smear campaign to frighten the public. It's cruel. It's effective. But I don't fight back with politics. I fight with results. We win a contract to power the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. It's the first fair illuminated by electricity. I walk among the glowing pavilions, past waterfalls of light and fountains that dance to invisible commands. Over 27 million visitors see what AC can do. They don't understand the science, but they feel it. They feel the magic. One little girl grabs my sleeve and says, "Mister, is this what stars are made of?" And I smile. The final blow comes when Westinghouse and I win the contract to harness Niagara Falls. It's the largest hydroelectric project ever attempted. Everyone doubts we can do it. But we do. We turn water into power, power into light, light into cities. And finally, the world begins to believe. If you were me, vindicated finally, after years of mockery and exile, what would you do with that momentum? Would you rest or chase something even bigger? I chase, always, because the dream has only just begun. The war of currents may be won, but the war within me rages on. I cannot stop thinking. Even in sleep, my mind is alive with visions, blue sparks that dance along the walls of my room, machines that hum softly in the back of my thoughts. I see patterns where others see noise. I see engines without gears, lights without wires, energy flowing through the air like wind through leaves. You might think success would bring peace, but for me, success is just another beginning. I move into the grand Waldorf Astoria Hotel. My room is neat, minimal. White gloves, polished shoes, notebooks stacked like fragile bricks. The staff call me peculiar. I eat alone. I walk alone. I count my steps. I avoid pearls, round objects, and the number 3. It must always be divisible by 3. Would you think me strange if you were me? Westinghouse remains a friend, but the business grows complicated. Money flows through his fingers like water. Patents pile up. Competitors multiply. One day he tells me that he may not be able to afford the royalties he promised for the AC motor. Those royalties could break his company. So I do something unthinkable. I tear up the contract. If you were me, owed millions, capable of retiring comfortably, would you walk away? I do. Because the world needs my invention more than I need riches. I choose the current. I choose progress. It's around this time I meet the financier who will define much of the next chapter of my life. J.P. Morgan. He is everything I'm not. Sharp, calculating, practical. A man of banks and balances. But he sees potential in my new idea. A global wireless system. A tower that could transmit energy and information to any point on Earth. No wires, just vibrations. A symphony of frequencies wrapping around the globe. He agrees to fund it. And so begins the construction of Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island. A spire of steel, wood, and ambition. I supervise every inch. I instruct the workers personally. Beneath it, I bury coils longer than railway cars. Above, the tower rises like a needle to the sky, designed to pull power from the earth itself and send it sailing through the air. Would you believe it? If I told you this was over a century ago? Wireless power. A dream still not fully realized. But I believed it could be done. And I still do. Every evening I pace beneath the half-finished tower, whispering to the clouds. I imagine ships crossing oceans without coal, cities lit from a single source, phones without wires, planes without fuel, energy shared freely, like sunshine or wind. But Morgan grows impatient. He learns I don't plan to charge people for using the power. That I see energy as a gift, not a product. That I want to give the world not just electricity, but freedom. And freedom frightens those who profit from control. Morgan withdraws his funding. The workers leave. The tower stands silent. My dream rusts in the salty air of Long Island. If you were me, so close only to watch it collapse, would you rage or rebuild? I cannot rebuild. Not yet. The press begins to turn. Where once they praised me as the new Da Vinci, now they call me mad. Tesla, the wizard who dances with lightning. Tesla, the eccentric who feeds pigeons and talks to the stars. I retreat into my experiments, into silence. But I do not stop imagining. I propose ideas for technologies far beyond our time. A machine to harness cosmic rays, a bladeless turbine with no friction, a system to control weather, a method for creating earthquakes with tuned frequencies. Some say I even dreamed up a death ray, though I prefer to call it a peace ray. A weapon so powerful, no country would dare go to war. Do you think that's possible? That peace could come from the threat of impossible power? Leave a comment below. My notes are scattered across hundreds of pages, many now lost. Some say I was chasing fantasies. But then again, some said that about the light bulb too. I begin to feed the pigeons in Bryant Park. They calm me. One, a white dove, visits often. I swear she understands me. I once tell a friend, as long as I have her, there is a purpose to my life. Is that foolish? Or just human? If you were me, watching your inventions fade while the world races ahead, would you still believe? I do, because the world has not caught up yet, and I know that one day it will. Time moves strangely now. I'm no longer the bright spark of the newspapers. The world that once clung to my every experiment now turns to other names. Einstein, Marconi, Edison still. But me, I've become something else, a relic of a forgotten future. Still, I walk. Still, I think. Still, I dream. I move from hotel to hotel, each room smaller than the last. I leave behind trails of unpaid bills and half-finished designs. My hair thins, my body aches, but my mind races faster than ever. Some nights I lie in bed and watch lightning crack across the New York sky, and I feel as though it's speaking to me. Not with words, but with pulses, with code. As though nature itself is still whispering ideas into my ears, hoping I'll be the one to listen. Do you ever feel like the world has moved on from you, even though you're not quite done with it? If you were me, older now, ignored, misunderstood, would you stop dreaming? I don't. In my notebooks, I still write furiously. Concepts for wireless lighting, ion propulsion, artificial intelligence. I imagine machines that can think. Networks of information shared instantly between people anywhere on Earth. I even describe pocket-sized devices that could allow anyone, anywhere, to speak with anyone else. Without wires, across oceans, across continents. Sound familiar? Yes. Smartphones, Wi-Fi, GPS. I see them all, long before they ever become real. But the world isn't ready. Not for free energy. Not for invisible networks. Not for a man who can see a future they don't understand. They want order. I offer revolution. They want proof. I offer vision. And vision, my dear listener, is a lonely thing. In 1931, on my 75th birthday, the world remembers me, just for a moment. A banquet is held in my honor. Reporters arrive. The New York Times quotes me again. I speak of future inventions, of energy drawn from the vacuum of space. I talk of anti-gravity, of communication with other planets. They call me eccentric, but they print every word. They always do, eventually. Later that same year, Time magazine places me on their cover. A portrait, sharp eyes, high cheekbones, lightning dancing behind me. They say I'm a man out of time. They're not wrong. But what does it mean to be ahead of your time? It means rejection, isolation, mockery, but also hope. Because even if you are not understood today, maybe tomorrow, someone will pick up your notes. Someone will understand. Someone will finish what you began. If you were me, holding that hope like a small flickering flame, would you keep it alive? Would you believe, even when others don't? My old rivals fade. Edison dies in 1931. He is mourned as a hero, a builder, a businessman. We were never enemies in my mind. just opposites. He believed in doing whatever it took to succeed. I believed in doing whatever it took to serve humanity. Sometimes, those paths do not meet. As I grow older, the world turns strange. The Great Depression sweeps the country. People stand in lines for food. Entire cities go dark. War looms across the oceans. Armies grow stronger, borders grow sharper, and fear runs like a current beneath every newspaper headline. I try to offer ideas, technologies that might help, but no one listens. Or if they do, they don't believe. That's okay, because I still believe. I believe in the harmony of the universe, in the power of thought, in the potential of humankind to rise above cruelty and greed. Do you? If you could send a message to me now, this older version of me, what would you say? Would you encourage me to rest or to keep dreaming? Leave a comment below when my favorite pigeon, the white one, dies not long before my final winter. I feel her loss more deeply than I expect. I tell a friend that when she died, a light went out in my life. And perhaps that's true, because after she goes, I begin to fade. The hotels change again. Now I live in room 3327 at the Hotel New Yorker. I rarely leave. I wear my gloves even indoors. I work only at night when the city is quiet. I eat less. I write more. One night, I feel very tired. My chest hurts. My thoughts slow. But I am not afraid, because I have lived fully. I have dreamed wildly. I have given everything I could, even if the world wasn't ready to receive it. If you were me, knowing the end was near, would you have regrets? I don't. I only hope the world will remember, not just me, but the message behind my life. That knowledge belongs to everyone. That imagination is the root of progress. That giving is more powerful than taking, and that the future is brighter than we can yet understand. I don't know what happens next, but I hope. I pass away on January 7th, 1943, alone in my room at the Hotel New Yorker. The Do Not Disturb sign has been hanging on the door for 2 days. When the maid finally enters, I'm found lying peacefully in bed, as if I've only fallen asleep. The newspapers print my obituary. Most are respectful, even if they don't quite understand who I was or what I tried to give the world. Some call me forgotten. Others say misunderstood genius. But you and I, we know better. My possessions are gathered. Crates and crates of notebooks, sketches, letters, strange devices. Most people don't know what to make of them. The FBI steps in. They say it's a matter of national security. My trunks are sealed, marked top secret, and stored away. Some say what I discovered was too powerful for the time. Others believe my ideas were simply nonsense. But look around you. Wireless communication, remote control, neon lights, lasers, drones, clean energy. I wasn't guessing. I was listening to the pulse of nature, to the unspoken patterns in the universe. And even now, pieces of my work are still being uncovered, still being built upon, still being understood. Maybe someday, someone like you will find a page I scribbled in the dark and build something magnificent from it. That's how progress works. One dreamer starts the fire, another keeps it burning. Do you feel it? That spark inside you when you learn something new. That quiet thrill when your mind makes a connection no one else has seen. That's not just curiosity. That's the beginning of invention. And if you carry it carefully, protect it fiercely, and give it generously, you too can change the world. Even now, my legacy lives in those who refuse to accept things as they are, those who believe in better. In 1960, more than a decade after my death, the world finally names something after me. The unit of magnetic flux density, the Tesla. Fitting, isn't it, that my name now measures invisible fields of energy, the very essence of the force I loved most. But honestly, I never cared for fame. I never wanted monuments or medals. All I ever wanted was to understand, to reveal what was hidden, to open a door no one else could see, and leave it open behind me. And I did. So if you're lying in bed tonight, staring at the dark ceiling, wondering whether your ideas matter, believe me, they do. Even if no one sees it yet. Even if the world says you're strange or foolish or ahead of your time. Maybe being ahead just means it's your job to go first. So what would you invent? What would you dare to dream, even if no one believed in it but you? Leave a comment below, and if you've enjoyed this journey through my life, if something I've said made you think differently about your own life, please like this video and subscribe. Only if you truly want more stories like this. Now, listen. Can you hear it? That gentle hum of electricity in the walls. That faint, invisible current that keeps the lights on. That carries music through the air. That lets you hear my voice tonight. That's me. That's my gift. And now, it's yours to carry forward. So now, as you lie back, close your eyes, and let your breathing slow, just imagine a starless night, a gentle wind through tall pines, the distant hush of waves lapping against the shore, and somewhere beyond the horizon, a tower rises, tall, skeletal, silent. At its peak, lightning gathers, not with thunder, not with fear, but with purpose, with possibility. It crackles softly, like a lullaby made of energy, waiting to leap across the world. You walk toward it slowly, your footsteps light on the grass. Each step feels warmer, softer, as if the ground is gently lifting to meet you. There is no hurry now, no noise, no demands, just the pulse of something greater. You sit at the base of the tower, tilt your head back, and feel the energy above begin to glow. It hums, not loudly, just enough to soothe your thoughts, like a voice without words saying, "You belong. You are part of this." Let it all go now. The questions, the worries, the to-do lists. Let them drift like ash into the wind. What remains is quiet wonder. The kind of wonder that sparked revolutions. The kind that wrote itself into the stars and said, "We are not finished yet." Sleep now, little dreamer. And if you dream of circuits, of storms, of blueprints that stretch beyond the sky, then perhaps, in the morning, you'll wake with the same fire I once did. Good night, sweet dreams.